There are some 45,000 police officers across the country. Now, the vast majority serve with honour to protect citizens and uphold the law. But others are a law unto themselves, some handing out rough justice. Tonight, one of those is in jail, but many others are protected by secret payouts to people who complain. Rodney Lowe's has this report.
This isn't a prison camp in Iraq. It's a back alley behind a police watch house in one of Australia's most popular tourist towns. Today, the officer responsible, Benjamin Price, was sentenced to 27 months prison for his involvement in this and 2 other excessive bashings. Here, Price can be seen slamming 47-kilogram handcuffed Renee Toms into the police counter. She was never charged. Tim Steele, despite being handcuffed, was dragged into an alley, punched to the head, and then had a fire hose put in his mouth and turned on. If it wasn't for the video, Airlie Beach Senior Constable Ben Price would probably still be handing out his own style of justice. But he's far from Australia's only overzealous police officer. Across the country, police are being forced to answer questions. In Perth, a man was tasered 13 times while in a lockup. These pictures emerging during an official corruption inquiry. One police officer was promoted after the incident, but now another inquiry could lead to officers being charged.
I don't want to remember it, but that's what occurred, and I'm reminded of it every day.
Locked up and strip-searched, all for $230 in unpaid fines that weren't even hers. It's a memory Brisbane grandmother Leonie Gosden can't erase.
I felt humiliated and attacked, really attacked emotionally and mentally and then physically when they put the handcuffs on.
Violated over fines she'd been cleared of months earlier. They'd been accrued 7 years prior in Sydney by the previous owner of her car.
We're in it for the long run and they're trying to get us to give up.
Leonie's been offered a small confidential settlement. It would barely buy a second-hand car. Her husband says it's not enough to buy their silence.
What we're doing publicly is declaring that we're not going to be hushed.
And Leonie is far from alone. Under a right to information application, we found more than $1 million had been paid to people who came off second best in Queensland police watchhouses. We don't know the details of the payments because they're secret, which is just how the police would like to keep it.
The police often, in these types of matters, resolve the matters civilly, quietly, and with no publicity.
Bill Potts heads one of Queensland's largest criminal law firms.
When overzealous police arrest people for perhaps minor offending or no offending, that great public goodwill is lost.
He says complaints against police are on the rise, and so is their willingness to pay complainants hush money.
He's grabbed me and he's thrown me to the ground and he started punching my head.
Grandmother and mother of 7, Suzanne Williams, waged a 2-year battle for justice and was awarded a substantial payout after being bashed by a police officer in 2007.
And then he's grabbed my head and he started whacking it into the ground.
The police officer, Senior Constable Michael O'Sullivan, was found guilty of assault, but no conviction was recorded.
And then he said, you bitch, or you mole. Take that, you mole. And he's whacking my head into the ground. 3 times he whacked it.
Suzanne was happy to talk to us about the incident at the time, wanting to warn the public. But she no longer can. It's a condition of her payout. She can't speak out, even though Officer O'Sullivan, who beat her, was able to appeal his finding of guilty and walk away completely unpunished. Benjamin Price's victims too are unlikely to tell their stories either in public, as they too have been confidentially compensated.
They're trying to stop people and they want to pay very little to keep you quiet, because you have to sign a confidentiality agreement, and I'll never be able to talk about it again.
One has to ask the age-old question, though, who guards the guards? And at the moment, it seems that the civil justice system and the Crime and Misconduct Commission are asleep at the wheel.
Keeping quiet on rough justice, that was Rodney Lowe's reporting.